We are about to share a week's worth of Thanksgiving-themed activities for your preschooler or toddler coming up. These activities are a lot of fun for preschoolers and toddlers to do, and you can do them with materials you probably already have lying around your house. Even though these activities are aimed at the preschooler and toddler-aged children, you'll see that even our older children wanted to join in on these activities. Let's get started with our Feed the Turkey activity. For this activity, you're going to need a paper bag, some sort of small container, tongs, an assortment of pom-poms, a die, and a permanent marker. If you're doing this activity with smaller toddlers, you'll definitely want to get a bigger die than this or watch your toddler very closely. To do this activity, you're going to take the paper bag and use the permanent marker and maybe a scrap piece of construction paper to form a turkey on your bag. Then you're going to have the kids roll the die. In this case, our toddler was not interested in the die, but more about what was in the bag. Next, you're going to want to show your kid how to use the tongs in order to pick up the number of pom-poms that they rolled. If your kid did not roll the die, then any number of pom-poms will work. We're really focusing on the fine motor skills here. So allow them to use the tongs and squeeze them to put the pom-poms into the turkey's mouth. You also want to make sure that if your child is left-handed, you give them the tongs in the appropriate hand, unlike I did with our little demonstrator here. Once your child starts to get the hang of it, you can step back a little and let them explore. Again, we're focusing on fine motor skills here, so it's okay if they put the tongs down and just use their fingers if they're younger. Also, don't be discouraged if they get a little creative in how they accomplish this activity. Our little demonstrator figured out that it was much easier to just stick the pom-poms right into the top of the bag instead of the turkey's mouth, and they were so proud of themselves. I just want to mention really quick that all of the activities mentioned in this video and more are available for free on our website. Not only will you find these activities that we're going to show you in this video on that curriculum, but you'll also find a book list, a music and movement playlist, and a materials list for all of the activities for the whole week. Our next Thanksgiving-themed activity is the blow-painted turkey. For this activity, you're going to need printer paper, brown and orange construction paper cut into the body of a turkey, and a square to make the turkey's beak, googly eyes, or a permanent marker if you don't have those, some sort of syringe or eyedroppers, washable paint and cups, and lastly, some straws. The first thing you're going to want to do is mix about 2 parts water to 1 part paint and stir that up into different cups. Again, you can use syringes or eyedroppers and place those into the cups for kids to use. You're going to want to demonstrate how to do this activity for your kids the first time. Show them how to squeeze the water up into the syringe or eyedropper and then put just a little bit on your paper. You really don't want them to go overboard. Next, you're going to want to demonstrate how to blow the paint all around the paper. Again, this is why you don't want to oversaturate your paper because it'll just make a total mess. We do recommend using some sort of tray or covering the table to try and keep the mess contained. For our youngest kiddos, blowing through a straw is actually a really difficult process, and this could take a lot of practice, but that is one of the points of this activity. We're focusing on the fine motor skills of being able to suck up the liquid and put it onto the paper, and also trying not to do too much liquid, and also working on teaching children how to be able to blow through a straw. Once your kiddo has finished blowing water all over their paper, making it nice and colorful, you're going to want to go ahead and grab your brown construction paper turkey body, add some glue, and place that right onto your child's painting. Be sure to press down and make sure it's all secure. Next, you're going to take the small piece of orange construction paper, add a little bit of glue, and add that to your body, making the beak. And lastly, you're going to add some googly eyes right above the beak. Again, if you don't have googly eyes, then you could totally use a permanent marker for this as well. And now you're left with an adorable turkey piece of art. Let's move on to our next activity. For this activity, you're going to need a bowl, filled with water, and a bunch of feathers. The purpose of this activity is to get kids thinking like a scientist. So we're gonna ask the question, how many feathers will float on the water? So you're gonna show your kiddos the bowl filled with water and have them make guesses. Go ahead and write those guesses down so they can review them after they're done with the activity. Once everyone's made their predictions, start having your kiddos putting the feathers on while counting how many can float on the water. When we did this activity, we actually ran out of feathers before it actually broke the surface tension of the water. The last activity is to help get your kids outdoors. So for this, you're going to need plastic cups, a permanent marker to draw some cute little turkeys on them, any kind of Nerf type gun. If you don't have a Nerf type gun, you could also use small balls that you could be throwing at the objects instead of shooting. All you have to do is go outside and set up your plastic cup targets, get a few Nerf guns, and then let the kids start shooting the targets down. If you have really young ones, the Nerf guns may not be functional for them and it may be too hard to pull the trigger. So like I said earlier, you can also just use balls or any other type of object to throw at the targets. If you're using Nerf guns, make sure your kiddos start collecting all the Nerf guns at the end so you don't have a bunch of Nerf guns all over your yard. In addition to doing these activities during the week, you can also put on the music and movement playlist that you can find on the website, and this will help get the kids up, dancing, and having a turkey good time.
Also, don't forget to check out the book list that goes along with this theme, and feel free to read those throughout the week as well. Don't forget, you can find all of these activities and more by checking out this theme from the free Kids Learning for Life preschool and toddler curriculum.
The free curriculum includes circle time activity ideas, a materials list, and even alternative activities you can use if one of the suggested activities are not a good fit for you or your children.
Which activity are you the most excited to try with your kids? Let us know in the comments below.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to get more homeschool content just like this. See you next time!